I'm Barry Friedman, and this is the state we're in. Well, the Republican National Convention is over, and it was a raucous, bellicose affair, one that, to quote something the late Molly Ivins once said of Pat Buchanan, probably sounded better in the original German. On Monday night, opening night, Melania Trump cribbed most of Michelle Obama's speech. But since her husband's supporters stuck with him through his anti-Hispanic Muslim rants, his tasteless impersonation of a disabled New York Times reporter, his mocking of John McCain, his insulting of Jewish audiences, his winks and nods to white supremacist groups, his lusting after his own daughter, his discussion of Megyn Kelly's menstrual cycle, and his general proud ignorance, racism, nativism, and curiousness, including not knowing what Brexit was or where Scotland stood on it. A little plagiarism wasn't going to make them book early flights out of Cleveland Hopkins International. We in Oklahoma were well represented by having not one, but two of our greatest citizens, just ask them, address the convention. It was inspiring, mesmerizing, hypnotic. Okay, it was none of those things. First, there was Harold Hamm, a really smart guy when oil is over $100 a barrel, and the billionaire CEO of Oklahoma City-based Continental Resources, one of the world's leading proponents of practice and practitioners of fracking, who reminded us that whenever an oil well isn't drilled, the terrorists win. Even money has him as President Trump's energy czar. Mary Fallin, this country's almost vice president, then scored a coveted speaking slot, just as she did 4 years ago, but this time on the convention's climatic night. This was going to be her moment in Quicken Loans Arena sun, except not so much. This year she received all of 6 minutes to give her speech. My first time on stage as a comedian at an open mic night, I got 8. But I digress. Our two-term, twice-married governor who defends traditional marriage offered a speech that critics agreed was flat, repetitive, unneeded. Now, 4 years ago, she extolled the beauty of low taxes. She did the same this year, saying at one point, "We are one in our belief that America must address the national debt not by raising taxes, but by increasing opportunity." The state of Oklahoma finished this year with a $1.3 billion budget deficit by doing just that, but let's not quibble. One of these days, Governor Fallin assures us it's going to work. Christie and Rudy Giuliani spoke as well, two men who should really be forced to take written exams before being allowed back in humanity. Someone should remind them both that American jurisprudence is not some dream sequence in Nathaniel West's short story, where the unruly mob, after being spurred on by charlatans, arrives with pitchforks, lit stumps of wood held high, and rabid dogs and chant, "Lock her up," while dragging her to the hoosegow. Ben Carson stopped by to accuse Hillary Clinton of not being in association with Lucifer, but actually being Lucifer. He can do that because he's Ben Carson. And then the former neurosurgeon urged the crowd to rise up and take back America. Yes, a black man was encouraging a largely white audience to resume its rightful perch upon the country. Wow. Ted Cruz, and you know how tough it is to like him, appeared very likable and not endorsing Trump by name, saying he's not in the habit of supporting candidates who offend his wife and father, alluding to Trump's trashing of both of them during the campaign. Cruz, like Michael Corleone, settled all family business that night. The Trump children all spoke. They're rich and work hard, by the way. In Trump's introduction on Thursday night, his daughter Ivanka, who immediately after the convention marketed the clothes she wore at the convention, said her father didn't have to do this. This being the presidency. This being the United States of America. We are a bauble to the Trump family. The speech didn't change one mind, didn't alter one perception, didn't reach out to one group not currently supporting him, except perhaps the LGBT community, a name he nearly got right. But those who would vote for him, even if he shot someone in the head on Fifth Avenue, probably felt even more energized than before. Trump also talked of freeing evangelical Christian pastors to speak their minds more. It would entail gutting the First Amendment, and what could go wrong there? As if we don't already hear too much from Franklin Graham and Jerry Falwell's kid. Trump then mentioned some countries by name, regurgitated some statistics, the majority inaccurately, but we're long past caring. flailed his arms in the air, spat out Hillary Clinton's name, and the crowd booed. The national GOP has a different mindset these days. It is a party with a ghastly view of America. Now, there may be some bright spots, though. The farther away from Cleveland you got and get. Here locally in Tulsa, our present mayor, Dewey Bartlett, some months back, enthusiastically endorsed Donald Trump, something no other big or medium-sized city mayor did. And the mayor lost by 18% in a primary, in a Republican primary. Maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't. And maybe we all move to Toronto and Reykjavik on January 22nd, 2017. Trump is a dark, one-note harangue. He screams, he bellows, he's Andrew Dice Clay in a suit. The national race presently, however, is within 3 points. Franklin Roosevelt, in his 1936 acceptance speech, said, "In the place of the palace of privilege, we seek to build a temple out of faith and hope and charity." He said that in Philadelphia. But last week in Cleveland, the Republicans partied like it was 1939. What's next?